Yes, please.
Yes.
Yes, we
Okay.
can.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Now, we have a total. Edwin, I see your name. Your name came out. Okay, so you're good. I also have Cassie. Cassie, is that Cassie Ann Taylor? Or is it Cassie Taylor? First, I want to wish you all a good morning. Thank you all for joining, and I'm sorry about the time change. I had a little predicament come up this morning, but we're here. For those of you that are watching on the screen, I want to make sure that you can see my screen. You see where it says Boost Elevate, what's new in version 9.6?
Yes.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I am going to mute you, right? So we don't have, background noise. If you have a question or if there's something that you want to ask, please place it in the chat box towards the right-hand side. Right now, I didn't catch the name of the person that's your DM on the call. So I normally have somebody that's in charge. Huh? Hello? Okay. So what I'm going to ask is for Edwin and I think it's Angelique or Keisha, not too sure, right? To make sure that if you need to get unmuted, just let us know, hey, listen, can you unmute me so we could go on with the training, okay? Sounds like a plan, guys?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so right now you're all muted. We're going to go into, so as I said again, I want to thank you all for joining on a little bit later than we had planned. And now what we're going to do is that we're going to do a small agenda, right? Now, you will be upgrading. For those of you that are on the call from My Wireless, you upgraded today. For those of you that are from Ally, you will be upgrading on the 18th of this month. With that being said, we're going to go through a small agenda, right, for the team. And with that agenda, we're going to give you a breakdown of what are the changes from 9.52 to 9.6. So one of the changes that there's going to be is the Boost Activation Wizard. With the Boost Activation Wizard, we're going to have what we call a new design. There's going to be a new transaction flow. We're also going to have new contract types, as well as contract types automatically loading to the POS, right? We're also going to have a full integration with ePay WebPOS. So as a part of the activation flow, it's going to be there. You no longer have to leave the screen. For those of you that have jumped on my calls earlier this week, we had 4 different calls. We still have 3 more. We still have 3 more trainings. We have one today at 2 o'clock this afternoon. We have one tomorrow at 10 a.m. in the morning and another one at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay? So you'll be able to jump on those calls. We've done great enhancements to our sales quote. So the tool has been enhanced. For managers that are on the call, you will have the Elevate Marketing integration. So that integration will show up on your screen. Now, this is one of the biggest changes, and it really frustrates a lot of people, password restrictions, right? With password restrictions, what's going to happen within 90 days of you upgrading to 9.6? So Casey can't hear anything. Does everybody else hear me, or is it only Casey? Okay, so Jaden does hear me. Case, what you're going to have to do is log off and log back on. Thank you, Christian. Okay? So, Case, try doing that. Try logging off and logging back on. Thank you, Star. Okay. So, I think she got it. Is she? Thank you, Jaden. We are recording it, so she'll be able to see it as well. So, the password is going to be restricted. The password now will change. You will no longer be able to use 123 ABC, something that's not selected. There'll be a minimum password length of 8. It will also require an uppercase letter, a lowercase letter, and a minimum number at the most. Okay? Within 14 days of this password being changed, it's literally going to advise you. It's going to say, hey, Edwin, your password is changing in 14 days. Do you want to change it now so, you'll be covered? And Edwin is going to take forever, right? Because Edwin's going to be like, oh, I got this. On the 15th day, if Edwin does not change his password, it will lock him out of the system. In locking him out of the system, what will happen is that he will now have to reach out to an admin or to a manager so they could change the password for him. Okay? Is everybody clear with the password restriction? Are we good to go? Thank you. So, the next step is we also want you all to know that we have additional training resources. We have on your dashboard 40 designated videos that are on Boost. I'm also going to walk through the knowledge base. The knowledge base is going to be something that you're all going to really use, as well as our webinars that run from Monday through Friday from 12 to 1:30, right? Those webinars are all on Mondays. It's an Elevate Best Practice call. On Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we have admin training, inventory training, sales training, reporting, and KPI trainings. So they give you the A's to C's on anything on these topics. Okay, so are we ready to roll? We're ready to see that 9.6? I hope you're all ready for this. Right? So, as you can see, not a lot has changed, right? One of the biggest changes is that branding is going to be there. So, everywhere you look, it's going to be orange and black designated to Boost, right? You have that little Boost signature here towards the left-hand side. As you can see that you could also see in the Elevate marketing, we have the marketing piece where we have the Boost Elevate. One of the biggest things, and this is something that I want you all to recognize, is when you go towards the middle of your screen, you have a small button that says help. This help button is going to help you all a lot, right? If you go onto that button now, it says about wireless standard. For all of you, it's going to say about Elevate, right? Here is where it becomes very important. As you can see, you're no longer going to have a security key. So security key will no longer be used. This means that in configuring anything in your system, you're going to need the access code. You could find this access code here in the help desk. Great, right? Then another thing that you're going to need is Here toward the middle is going to have your client ID. Now, Ally's client ID is 3684. My wireless is 1927. So your client ID will be here towards the screen. As well as for the number of support, it will be in this help center. So here you have your boost phone number, right? That ends in 2316. You also have the email address if you want to email them as well. So all options are there for you. Okay? You even have the website if you want to go to the website. Anybody has any questions about this and saying, hey, Gloria, why are you showing us this? The reason I'm showing you all this is because here towards the right-hand side, we have the B2B Help Center. The B2B Help Center is going to be your knowledge base. And this is where, let's say if you have a new hire, for those of you that are managers on this call, or, hey, listen, I need a little refreshment course on my Boost Elevate. I have some questions. I don't really want to call Gloria. I don't really want to call support. You're able to go into your knowledge base. In your knowledge base, you will be able to type in anything in the drop-down box towards the right. It'll give you different kind of options, right? So let's say if I was looking how to print the Z report, I could just click printer here, and any article that is based on a printer is going to launch here. Okay? Now, let's say that I don't have too much time, but I need to reach out to support. You also have the chat with us. So we just added that, and that's going to be in your knowledge base. You see, so let's say you put in your number, you put in the message. Within minutes, somebody from support will reach out to you, and they'll start chatting with you. As I heard on this call this week, chat is life. So it's also very, very helpful for you, right? Another thing is anything on the front office. Let's say you have a question on the front office. You're able to click on front office. Let's say you want to do a refresher on port-in activations. You're able to click on port-in activations. It'll bring you to the video that's designated to port-in activation. Is everybody clear with this? Cool? Right? The next step is you're also able to open a ticket. So let's say you're having an issue at the store. Here where it says submit a request, you'll put B2B soft request, right? Here you could write what the problem is. So let's say that if it was that printer, right? I would write printer here. As before, anything that's suggested across to the printer is going to launch towards the bottom, right? But let's say that that's not what I'm looking for, and what I'm literally looking for is the alignment of my printer. My printer isn't printing correctly, so I need the alignment rules. Here you would write your client ID, that is 3684 or 1927. Here you would say if it's a problem, maybe it's just a question that you have, hey, listen, just send me how to fix it so I could fix it, all right? You could even add a picture to this form. So it becomes very, very helpful. You click submit. You will get an answer within an hour to 2 hours tops. Okay? So this is very helpful for the team. Any questions on the knowledge base, or are we all good? Now, to get into the knowledge base, you may need that access code. So here where it says sign out, it'll say sign in. It'll ask you for your access code, your username and password, and you're able to log on. I hope everybody could hear me. You guys are being really quiet.
I can hear you.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we're good.
Thank you. You're good? You're all good? Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Okay, so now we're going to go back. So that's the knowledge base, right? Now we're going to go to what are the changes. What are going to be the changes in your sales quote? Because this is the most important part of your day, right? So when you're going to go into POS here towards the upper left hand side, you're going to see the same screen as you always do, right? You're going to click onto phone activation. You will no longer see those 5 boxes that you see on the screen now. You will see these 3 icons on your screen. So let's say that I walk into the store, right? And Edwin is there. Edwin makes it feel so comfortable. He has the music blasting. He's so happy, that today is another day. And I go, "Hey, how you doing?" He goes, "Hey, how you doing? Welcome to Boost." And now I tell him, "Oh, I'm thinking, I'm really upset. So I'm thinking about porting my number. I was across the street at the Metro store, but they got me really upset. So I'm thinking about porting over my number to Boost." And Edwin goes, "Oh, great. So do you know what you want? You discover. It does sound like our everyday customers. I know I've been in a couple of stores and I've seen it. Um, so, right? I'm like, "Edwin, you know what? I have a phone with Boost for work. I want to make a payment on it, right? So, what I want you all to realize is you see these 3 icons? If I hover over any of these icons, you're going to see what they actually do. So this one is a new customer. This one is account changing, adding secondary lines, upgrades, boost up. But if you see here towards the right, you're going to see our integration with ePay. So Edwin had already logged into his Boost activation wizard, and now I said I want to make a payment, right? He's able to go here towards the right-hand side, click on the e-payment button, and be able to take my payment. And he could still go and check if my number is eligible for upgrade. Okay? So now let's say I said, "Hey, I want to check if my number is eligible for upgrade," right? He tells me, "Sure, Gloria, let me check for you." He can go into assisting accounts. Now, when you go into existing accounts, you're going to see 2 different lines. What I want you all to notice is that we've added what we call the process bar. So you saw how I went into that second button? It's now going to choose my contract type. Let's say if I was doing an activation add a line or I was adding anything to a family, that would be my first line. But here I'm asking Edwin if I'm eligible for upgrade. He's going to be able to go towards the bottom left-hand side, click on upgrade, type in my mobile number, right? He's going to be able to check upgrade eligibility. And if this number is not eligible for upgrade, it will literally say it's not eligible to upgrade. Because this is pulling from SPG. If the number was eligible to upgrade, right? So let's try another number. Let me see if this one is. And I check that if the number is eligible, the number is going to come out bright green. So because my number is not eligible to upgrade, I got to think Edwin now has to discover what else do I want to do. So now I tell Edwin, "You know what? Like my number is not eligible to upgrade. Let me see if I could port over my number from Metro." So now when everybody does that, right, when you have those boxes here towards the left on your screen, you have that check eligibility for the upgrades and check eligibility for porting. You normally have to cancel out and then go back in. With the new 9.6, you're no longer going to have to do that. You're going to go back. You're going to go towards the bottom right, click on previous, and it's going to bring you back to that main screen. So you no longer have to leave your flow, right? So now that Edwin is going to check if my number is poured in eligible, he's going to go to where it says new account. So far, is everybody with me with the upgrade? Okay. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Now, when I click on new activation, it's going to give me 3 different buttons. The first button is going to be the activation, which is a new line, non-port. The second one is going to be the new line when porting from another carrier, right? And my third button is going to be my BYOD. So now Edwin wants to check if my number is eligible to be transferred over from Metro. So he's going to go here towards the middle of the screen. As you see, my process bar already chose new account, port in, eligible check. He will be putting my mobile number here, right? He will be going to port credit eligibility, and it's going to tell him if it is eligible or if it is not eligible. Right now, my number is eligible. So Edwin is like, yeah, Gloria, well, your number is eligible. So do you want to try, let's port it over, right? And he moves on to the next step. But now, because I'm such a complicated customer, I tell Edwin, you know what, Edwin? I don't even want that number. So what I'm thinking about is, can I just start? I heard that you guys have a BOGO, right? With an LG phone. And Edwin goes like, yeah, we have the LG Stylo BOGO. You know what? I don't even want that number. I have way too many issues. I'm going to leave Metro behind me, and I'm just going to, you know what, consider myself a Boost client. Can we just, can we start from scratch? Now, if we were in the older system, you would have to click cancel, go back in. You no longer have to do that. This is where I'm telling you that all this navigating back and forth within the same portal is going to help you all with your workflows, right? Once I click on previous towards the bottom right again, it's going to bring me to the main screen. So is everybody clear with the port in process? Are we good?
Yeah, we good.
Okay. So now, as you see, the process bar is also has gone across. So what Edwin is going to choose is the activation button. Once Edwin chooses the activation button, he's going to see these 3 designated icons on the screen. Now, with these 3 designated icons, what he's going to see is, this is his SPG portal. This is, we're going to tell you what this button is if you already activated a phone. And here is our infamous sales quote. So now, remember when I told you at the beginning of the training class that we're going to have, we have enhancements to the sales quote? So we've made enhancements to the sales quote that you are all going to love, especially because you're all A1 charge clients. You will be able to use the sales quote in your advantage when pre-authorizing a credit card, debit card for a customer. Right? Now, the sales quote is a massive calculator that is attached to your inventory. So that means that if somebody is in the Columbus, Ohio store, this sales quote is connected to their inventory. If somebody is in Cleveland, Ohio, it's connected to the Cleveland, Ohio. So whatever store you're in, the sales quote is connected to it, not vice versa. Okay, pretty clear, guys?
Yes.
Okay, so here, because I don't know where your inventory is, Edwin knows what I'm looking for, and I'm looking for that, the LG Stylo, right? He could either scan the phone or the UPC here or the IMEI, or he could go here to the right-hand side and choose the product, right? So here we're going to put this in, I believe it's 1423. No, that is not my phone. Let me find it. I forgot my numbers today, guys. So once you write anything there, you're going to see which phones it is. So I'm going to look. Aha, my LG Stylo. So now he's going to be able to choose the contract type, right? If it were a different kind of contract type, you'll be able to change it from the list below. Because it's an activation, we're going to stick with the activation. Now with service plans as well, you can choose, as I heard, Ally loves the $60 plan, right? I'm going to ask permission because I do want to show you all how to create a family. So I'm going to do the $50 one, right? So all the updated plans are going to be towards the top, so you can't miss that, right? Here, we're also able to select the plan options. So let's say I'm looking for insurance for my phone, because I dropped my phone the first time I walked out of Metro. They never replaced it for me, right? Now here is where it gets kind of tricky. When I go to the promo, which promo am I going to choose? The BOGO one? Did Edwin convince me about getting two phones or one? Okay, so he convinced me on getting two. Yes, we're gonna do the $80 one. Thank you, Mohammed. There's no choice. I gotta take both of them. Thank you, Jessica. We're gonna do the $80 one, right? But and it's good that you all caught on to that. I did say I wanted two phones, right? So I'm gonna go here towards the right, and I'm gonna add this phone to my quote, right? Now my first month payment goes there, as well as the first price of that device, right? Now I'm going to go and I'm going to select, yeah, I did say I wanted two phones, and I did mention the BOGO, and I want to thank you all for noticing that. I'm going to enter the SKU or scan the next phone. Once I've scanned the next phone, I'm going to change the contract type to activation add a line. Here, I'm going to select the $50 plan because I am going to convert this into a family plan, right? And now I choose both promotions. So in the sales quote now that you all have on your screen. Oh, and we're gonna add a lot of accessories. That's, you know what, Jeannie, I gotta give you props. You're the first rep that remember accessories on all these calls. So right, we're gonna add that one to our quote. But what happens to that $30? Uh-huh. Thank you. It goes away. Right? So now my client has a full balance of 218.71, but as Jeannie said, we're going to add a lot of accessories onto this, right? So let's say that you want to add a headset, a case. All you got to do is go here towards the top, right? I have these pop stands that I have. Let me see which is the one that I like to sell. This one. I could add that to the quote. As you see that it goes down, right? I'm going to add a headset. Now, with accessories, yes. Ooh, pink Bluetooth headset. I've been looking for one of those. I can't find it. Here with with headsets, you're able to do multiple discounts. Now, this is a discretion of your management team if they don't give a lot of discounts, but I could give multiple discounts on this. On this, so let's say I take 250 off. Thank you, Jeannie. I may go see you next week. And I'm going to add that to my quote as well. Now, let's say that I want a Bluetooth headset and Edwin sold me a wire headset. All Edwin has to do now is go here towards the left-hand side, click on the red X, and take away that accessory and go towards the top and add another one. Now, we all know that that feature does not exist on the 9.52. You're able to go here towards the left-hand side and exchange anything. You're able to X out of any of them. You guys are all in Ohio or in Kentucky, so that all depends. Right? So, ladies and gentlemen, this is where it becomes very important to all of you because you do have A1 charge. You will see this pre-authorized button towards the bottom right. With the pre-authorized button, you will be able to place a hold on a credit card, debit card for up to 30 minutes. Okay? So that means that if your customer, now we got a round amount of 338. You round it out, right? I would say 340, right? So you could always have something to work with. But if your customer, so I've been such a complicated customer to Edwin. Edwin is gonna, I tell Edwin now, I say, Edwin, can you print this out for me? Because I may come back. Edwin was like, wait, hold up. Well, it's because I tell Edwin, it's because I have $200 on my card and I don't know how much cash I have. Edwin goes, oh, that's not a problem. We could do both, right? So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. You're still able to go anywhere around your screen to print this sales quote, right? If not, and you're going to pre-authorize for that client, you're going to go towards the bottom right. You're going to enter the amount that the customer wants to pre-authorize. So if they want to enter a certain amount, I'm just going to pre-authorize a penny, right? Once you click on OK, it's going to show the credit card center. You're going to either swipe the credit card or insert the credit card into the pin pad. You're going to click on OK. Once you clicked on OK, it's going to say that the card was approved, right? And it's going to place that 30-minute hold on that call. Now, this process for you to make a sale should not run you over 11 minutes. We've timed it. As you can see here towards the back, both accessories are waiting for you in the shopping cart, as well as the pre-authorized amount, right? So now you're going to go into your Boost portal so you can do that family plan for me. Your username and password is going to launch. Now, the first day that you open and you launch to 9.6, it may ask you to relog in your username and password. Now, I know that for the team of My Wireless and Mobile Addictions, I do not have to tell you how to make a sale. Especially, I feel like I don't have to tell Jeannie or Edwin, not even Mohammed. I think you all got this down packed, right? Here, you're going to be able to choose your device, your phone number, profile, plan, payment, right? Once you get to payment, we all see the infamous phone here towards the right-hand side. We see the number and the plan, right? What is the first thing we do now? We copy the number, correct? So we could take it onto our download screen. Ladies and gentlemen, you will no longer have to do that. Once you click on download to POS, that number will launch automatically into the next screen. The only thing now that you have to input is going to be the PIN. Now, you remember now what you're all doing is scanning the number, putting the number, and choosing the contract. You no longer have to choose the contract. The contract has been chosen for you. However you did it in SPG is the way it's going to download to the POS. Now, does everybody have put together the sales quote as well as the part that I'm activating? Are you all with me? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Now, what happens to the primary? So what it's going to show you here towards the right is that this is the primary number. For me to start a family, what do I have to do? Make that first payment. So I'm going to go across now with my ePay, which I don't have to leave my system. I'm going to click on ePay. It's going to log in as it always logs in with my username and password. Just give me a couple of minutes. Somebody else is using my system at the same time as I am using it, so it gets a little bit tied up. Okay, so here you're going to go do your RTR as you always do it. Nothing is going to change, right? You're going to hit RTR, you're going to put in the number, you're going to put in the PIN, correct? I can't do that. I have to take a transaction that I have from the past, so I could show you the next steps that we're going to take. Right, I'm going to search that. I always like to use one of these $80 ones because I want to show you the breakdown. I want to view the receipt. I am not going to click print, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go towards the top of the screen and click on download to POS. If my customer is in my database, it will show up here, and all you have to do is click on update. If the customer is not in your database and you want to add them, you're able to go towards the bottom right and add them. I'm going to hit cancel because I have a customer already in my shopping cart. As you can see, my e-payment has been caught up successfully and is also waiting for me in my shopping cart in the background. Okay? Now, the next step is to add that secondary line. Here, I'm going to go towards the middle button where it says add a line. Now, remember when we use the bottom to do upgrades, boost up, plan, if I had a plan change? We're not going to choose those. We're going to choose one of the top ones. If it were an add a line to the existing account, then I'm going to do add a line to the existing account. If I'm porting in from another services, I'm going to do that, my BYOD or my upgrade up, add a line. So Edwin is going to click on activation, add a line. He's going to be able to go into the direct link and do the same thing he did with that other number. Now, the number will launch onto this screen. When that number launches into that screen, all he's going to have to do is add that pin. I want you to all notice the two differences. You see how one says that it's the primary line and the other one says that it's the add a line? Right? Now I could go over towards the right-hand side and start that family. So that's activate all lines, confirm primary lines, confirm that the e-payment was sent. It literally breaks it down for me. Then I'm able to hit download to POS. Any questions before I download to POS? Or are we all clear? Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. So now that I've already combined everything and done it in SPG, I'm going to go towards the bottom right. I will have, Christian, I'll have another training at 2 o'clock. Right? I'm going to click on download to POS. What I want you all to recognize is exactly how you did it in SPG. You're not choosing those contracts anymore. Those contracts are coming automatically over. So it's going to have the activation contract type there. Right? It's going to have your phone. It's going to have your serial. You're good. All you have to do is go towards the bottom right and click on process. Now, I know that we're also quick to say yes because we want to get up and ready to go, right? We're going to click on no because we want to add these phones to the shopping cart that we have already. Here we see that we have our activation add a line exactly the same way we did it before. Okay? We're going to go towards the bottom right and we're going to process that device. Now, what I want you all to notice is I have the pot socket here. I have the headset. I have the first month payment. I have the first stylo and I have the second stylo. If I wanted to add any more accessories, I could go here towards the upper left-hand side and add more accessories. I also have my authorized amount. So if my authorized amount was the full amount, it will show here. Now, this is where sometimes we get a little bit freaked out, right? Because we're like, oh my God, it's 640. We all know it's not. But once we click on the green button, every single discount launches except for one. So you see my $30 came off for the add-a-line, my $80 for the promotional handset, which is the one that I'm missing, guys. Yes. So because BOGOs come and go, there's always a coupon here towards the left to verify that BOGO. Once I click on that BOGO stylo, now I have a full discount. Now remember that I said that I was going to give discounts to the headset. I'm going to give them 15% off. So I'm only going to give the headset 15% off. And this is where you could wow your customer and tell your customer, hey, listen, you're walking out of here with two phones, all your accessories, your first month payment, and all your and your full savings of $304.98. Your total is $311. If you had authorized, let's say that you had authorized 320. The 320 will show here towards the middle of your screen, right? It will take only the 311, right? And it'll return the rest of that payment to that customer. Okay? Now, as always, I like to show this if there are some of you that don't know. There is a miscellaneous button where you could write notes. You could write this customer was complicated, or you gave this customer a BOGO, right? And you will see that. The customer won't. Once you click on payment, you would take the full payment of that amount. It's 92. You would hit enter. 190. That's perfect. Right? We hit OK. Once we go towards the bottom right and we hit OK, you're going to see that that credit card, debit card was approved, right? And it took that 1 penny. It's going to bring the infamous wireless standard message screen where you could either print or email your customer. You could download it to a thermal printer, or you could do the 8.5 by 11. You will hit OK. Once you hit OK, it's going to show us the receipt. And ladies and gentlemen of My Wireless and Ally, this is the changes to your 9.6. My Wireless upgraded today. Ally will be upgrading on the 18th. Okay, I'm going to make this a little bit larger so you could all see it. You see all discounts are there. It's very important. You have your return policy. Here is the purchase for that 1 cent. Here is your e-payment, right? Here's any coupons that the company has put into so they could have them sell out. Any questions from either team, please ask away. I'm going to leave the chat open for 5 to 10 minutes. I know that I have another training at 12 o'clock with My Wireless. So hopefully, if they're here, you could jump on to that call. I want to thank you all for taking out of your busy day to jump on this call, and hopefully your upgrade will be amazing. Any questions? You're welcome, Judy. Thank you. Have a great day, guys.